For this pattern here, what we're going to use is Kamasan B170 size 10. The thread is just a normal brown 8/0, so we're just going to put the thread onto the hook. This pattern, as I say before, was used a couple of months ago. Good friends of mine there, Jerry Taggart and Gavin Rogan, was using this on Loch Earn, and a fellow colleague of mine there, Keith Cole, he rang us up all excited, saying it worked absolutely brilliant for him. So what we're doing there, the tail there is going to be a claret cock pheasant, and what I'm going to use for the body, this is a material that's been on the market for a while. It's polar fritz, and what you can see by with the polar fritz on this one here, it's just got the straggles on one side only. So you can actually do it as on the 15mm, it uses a hackling. So we're going to trim this off here. And the thing about when you're putting this on is just to make sure that polar fritz, when it goes on, you're just twisting that backwards a bit, so you can see this is just splaying out backwards. So we're going to wind this on along here. This is actually fluorescent UV, so it does it shows up fairly quickly in the water. And that's that there. So that's the body, as you can see there, it's just beaming out, especially under this light here. And the claret tail there, I always use that there. It's always on peaty water, seems to be far more clearer. So we're going to use for the under hackle on this one here, this is a CDC that's been dyed in fluorescent yellow and then chartreuse. So we're going to catch that in, bring that stem back, a couple of wraps to lock it in, and then just trim that bit off. Once we've got that in there, could just use this as a normal hackling technique, just stroking the CDC backwards and widening it in. And what we want to do is to get this good and bushy, this here, stops that French partridge from collapsing fully onto the hook itself. So once we've got that on, just to secure that in. Once we've got him in there, what I'm going to do, just with your thumb and your middle finger, just going to force that back, that wee bit there. And to finish the fly, what I'm using, that's the French partridge that's been dyed in the fluorescent yellow. So get him in, just going to catch that in. Turn off the waist. Then we're going to do just stroking this back. We're going to wind that in. One full wind at the back, and we're just going to gradually work our way forward. As you can see, as you're going forward there, that's just streamlining that. Right, so once we've got him in, catch him in, tie that down, trim off the waist, bit of a weave head, and we'll finish him off there. It's really surprised me how effective this pattern was on the lochs. Loch Earn especially, and Loch Sheelan there, especially when it was with the Irish team. Also on this one here, you can use the green polar fritz with the green picric CDC. And the thing about this is when it's pulled through the water, that will actually collapse down on itself like that there, just giving that wee bit of a nymph effect. Also traps the air in it, so when you're pulling it through the water, you get like a wee bubble stream that comes off this when it's pulled through the water for a few yards, and it just seems to pull the fish up. So there we go, a couple of coats of varnish, and that's him all done. Now what we can do, it might show on the camera here, when you put the laser light on it, with it UV and fluorescent, definitely glows in the water, and it has pulled up quite a few fish. As I say, also there's one you can use with the golden olive and put the hot orange or fluorescent orange polar frets as well coming through there, so it's just like a cock robin effect. So I'm happy enough with that there. So as we say, we're in Highland, happy wrappings.